Lisa here, aka Crafting Diva. Thank you so much for joining me on my YouTube channel today. Hope you're doing really well. If you're new to my channel, big hello and welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. I'm Lisa, and if you're an existing subscriber, thank you so much for joining me once again today. Hope you're going to enjoy this video. And as it's Wednesday, it's time for an upload for Hilary, who is Pink Bubble Cards here on YouTube for her alphabet challenge. And yeah, I'm a bit short on time this week, so I've made one card that I think is going to work perfect for two little challenges that I'm taking part in, so I hope that's okay. So this is going to be my card for Hilary for her alphabet challenge for L for Letterpress, and also for week 9 of Play and Make of Jayne the Crafting Shed Davis of her Play and Make collaboration. So the items I've used to make my project this week is my distress inks. I've used this Shabby Shutter colour, Shaded Lilac, and these are both distress inks. Then I've used my Tim Holtz stencil. I used this sort of bobble dot design at the top of the stencil. Then for my sentiment, I've used this clearly besotted sentiment set. And then for my letterpress feature of my design, I've used this gorgeous little heart embossing folder that I've had for years. I think it maybe came free with a magazine, and you got some stamps with it and a little stencil, but I just thought this would be ideal for my project this week. And without further ado, here is the little card that I've made for this week. Wanted to go for a square card this time, and yeah, like I say, this is going to be for Hilary's challenge, which was letterpress. So what I've done to make my card is I took a piece of white cardstock, and on my embossing folder I put some lilac ink and some green ink and gave it a little tiny spritz with some water and ran it through my embossing machine. And this is the effect it gave you. It gives you the effect that the design has been letterpressed into your cardstock. And yeah, when I took this out of the embossing folder, I was like, oh, I really like that effect of the lilac and green ink mixing together. It's give it a real shabby chic feel. So that's the route I've gone down for my card. So I matted a piece of green cardstock, and I used a texture tool to rough up all the edges of the cardstock to give it that real shabby chic feel. I stuck my piece of letterpress cardstock on top of that, and then in the background I used the Tim Holtz stencil and stenciled some of the little dotty design into the background just to give it that bit more texture. Then I stamped my image, which is a Tilda wedding couple. I coloured my little man with a nice little green suit. The lady's got a really soft white, it's a tiny little bit of peach tone into it because I wanted to give it a tiny bit of colour, but not too much, and the lilac just didn't look right, but it's give it more that it looks white. So I coloured that with my Copic pens and matted that into the middle of my design. Then I made the little sentiment banner, again used my texture tool to rough up all the edges of it, and then stamped my sentiment huge congratulations in the lilac distress ink. And then for the finishing touch, I added these 4 little pearls. I didn't have any gems in white or silver, so I've used white pearls. So this is going to be my project for Hilary's challenge, which is L for Letterpress. And also, like I said, this is for Jayne the Crafting Shed Davis for her little challenge Play and Make week 9, and we had to use the colours white, green and lilac, and we had to use stamps, stencils and gems. So I think this card has worked out perfectly to follow both of those briefs. And yeah, I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I love the shabby chic feel. We're roughing up the cardstock and how the inks have blended together lovely on my bit of letterpressing cardstock. So really hope you enjoyed having a look at my little project. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're interested in any of the distress inks, if you've never used them from Tim Holtz, I would highly recommend them. I will leave a little affiliated link in that description box below to Craft Stash, where they have a whole collection of inks, not just Tim Holtz. They do Memento, Versa, find. You think of an ink pad, there, have it. So I will leave some links to some ink pads in that description box below if you'd like to go and treat yourselves to some new inks, as they're a great essential item, I'd say, for you to have in your craft room. As you can see, you can do so many different techniques with them. They're not just for stamping with, you can make gorgeous backgrounds with ink. So I'd highly recommend the Tim Holtz Distress and Oxide inks. I use them all the time. I've had some of my ink pads for years and they're still going strong and still give me great results. So I'd love to read any of your comments. Do you like my shabby chic feel wedding design I've done for this week's challenges? Thanks so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please feel free to hit that like button, and if you're brand new to my channel, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. I'd love you to do that. Don't forget to hit the little bell icon for notifications of my brand new videos, and I hope to see you all again very soon, and bye for now.